There's something about fishing that feels different from almost anything else. Maybe it's because it forces you to slow down. Maybe it's because the fish don't really care about your deadlines or your meetings or your overflowing inbox. Whatever it is, when life gets busy, time on the water becomes one of the first things to disappear. Lately, work has been consuming most of my days. Early mornings turn into long afternoons, and long afternoons turning into evenings before I even realized where the time had gone. The thought of getting out to fish had been sitting in the back of my mind for weeks, not because I expected to catch something special, but because I really just needed the break. I needed a few hours where the only thing demanding my attention was the next cast. Finally, a small window opened up and the schedule loosened just enough to make it happen. Rods were loaded, gear was packed, and for the first time in a while I was headed towards the water instead of just another meeting or obligation. The forecast wasn't perfect, but it looked manageable, and a little cloud cover, a little bit of wind, chance of rain, nothing unusual if you're a fisherman. At least, that's what I thought. Not long after arriving, the sky began to change, the breeze picked up, the clouds thickened, the first drops hit the water softly enough to ignore, then came more. Within minutes, the rain settled in and had made it clear that fishing was not going to be something we could do today. Like most people, my first reaction was disappointment. After all, opportunities to get away had been rare. This was supposed to be the break. The reward, after weeks of work, instead of calm water and steady cast, I was standing there watching the weather take over for the day. But as I sat and waited, something shifted. The rain wasn't ruining the experience, it was becoming part of the experience. The surface of the water transformed, ripples spread in every direction. The palm trees moved differently in the wind. Birds disappeared into shelter. The mosquitoes stopped biting. And the entire landscape changed character in a matter of minutes. And for once, I had nowhere else to be. Most of us spend our lives trying to avoid discomfort. We chase sunny days and complain about rainy ones. We celebrate easy seasons and resist difficult seasons. Yet, nature doesn't work that way. The lake doesn't prefer sunshine. The ocean doesn't prefer calmness. The fish don't vote on the weather, and the palm trees don't negotiate with the clouds. The cycle simply continues. Rain follows sunshine, calm follows storms, storms follow calm. Sitting here in the truck, right by the bay, I started thinking about how much life works the same way. We often convince ourselves that the good times are the point and the difficult times are the interruptions, but maybe both are necessary parts of the same process. Without rain, the landscape dries out. Without challenges, growth slows down. Without difficult seasons, we lose our appreciation for the easy ones. The truth is that every memorable fishing trip I can recall contains some amount of discomfort. Early alarms, cold mornings, crappy coffee, windy conditions, long stretches without a bite, yet those moments are just part of what makes the experience meaningful. If every trip were perfect, they would all blur together. The same could probably be said about this busy life we live. The setbacks, frustrations, delays, and unexpected storms create contrast. They give shape to the moments we enjoy. They remind us to not take the calm days for granted. Eventually, this rain will ease off. The sky will brighten just enough to hint that the storm was moving on. I'll make a few more casts, spend a little more time watching the water, and then, inevitably, head home. Honestly, the fishing itself is almost irrelevant in this situation. What stays with me was the reminder that being outside in both the sunshine and the rain has value. Experiencing only the one side of the cycle gives us an incomplete picture. The beauty of nature isn't found only in perfect water, it's found in witnessing the constant change, the transition, the balance. Sometimes the best thing we can do is stop fighting the conditions and simply just experience them. That day, today, started as a fishing trip that got rained out. It ended as a lesson in perspective. The weather wasn't good or bad, it was simply doing what weather does. And maybe life is the same way. Some days bring clear skies, some days bring storms. The goal isn't to avoid one and choose the other. The goal is to appreciate that we get to be here for both.